Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Therapy with Amy. Today I'm here. I'm going to work on another layout with the Beautiful Gallery. So this is part of my Beautiful Gallery series, but I'm going to be using a few different items here today. Anything that's still available, I'm going to list down below. So if you're looking for something and you're wondering if it's still available, if I don't know, I'm not going to be able to say on here because things sell out and sometimes things are available. The only thing I know for sure is this. You can't get this anymore. I'm not sure if there's a few of these left. So check out down below whether any of these things are still around. This here is the Forever Fern stamp set. I actually went to a garage sale this weekend and sadly the lady who had been the scrapbooker of the family passed away, and her poor husband was trying to sell all her stuff, and my heart went out to him. But I purchased this one stamp set and dies, and it's pretty cool. Pardon my dog. And then I'm going to use just these two butterflies, I think, on this stamp set. So this is one that I got for free, actually, with the celebration. And not too long ago, it was still available. So I will link it down below if it is. And then this is the distressed tile embossing folder. So I'm going to be using this one on this layout as well. But you could also use the damask embossing folder that kind of went with this set. These are the three kinds of paper I'm going to be using, and I'm also going to be using this frame for both embellishing and for using as mats on my pictures. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that right away. So what I'm going to do with these guys is I'm going to place them on my paper, and you've all probably seen a layout like this somewhere along the line, and you do 6 and 6, and that's kind of your background that you start on. So I'm going to start like that, and I have a few more here. Now I have some partial pieces because this is going to be covered up here, so I don't actually need a full one there. And I'm going to bring in this picture, show you, because this picture is going here. This is the World Fair, whatever. This thing was built for the World Fair in San Francisco, so that's what we were visiting for this. And then I have some pieces that were left. So when you cut a piece of paper, then you're left, I cut it in half because it's 6 by 6 paper, and then I have this, and then I cut that off and I'm left with a chunk from the top. And this was just some extra I had, but this is the piece that's left on the top. So you can sometimes use those like as a faux piece, I think. Oh, no. Something like that. All right, here's a mat. Wasn't sure where I put that. Like that. A few more pieces. These are also partial pieces, and then one full one. Oh no, all partials for the top here, because this is all going to be covered. Let's try, and I want to arrange the colors so that I'm going up, down, and then I have this one that's down, up. So it's just the blue one that's got a bit of a different pattern. So I think these should come closer to here, and then this is going to go closer that way. Now let me show you what I'm going to use. I've already matted these photos. This is some pictures of the building, and they worked in squares, so I used them like that, and then like that, and then this is going to go under here as if there's a whole one, and this one too. I have this photo for this side. I'm going to need a mat for that one, but we don't need it right this second. And then I have a couple more pictures of my husband and I walking there. So I think I'm going to put this one kind of up here. I'm going to have a mat so that covers that. And then this one covering a little bit here, and then title over here. So I just need a mat so that you can't see. So one thing I wanted to do, I created some frames. So when you cut out this die, you get a frame this size. Just have to grab them here, sorry. A frame this size, obviously I cut from 2 different papers, but just to show you easier. And then I don't have a peach one right on hand here. I think I used it already. And then this size, right? And so I'm gonna use all of the different sizes on this layout, but I do want to be able to frame these photos and it doesn't fit, right? Because this needs to come up to here, and that's easy to do, and I want to show you how to do that. So you can see on here that there's a embossed line, and what we're going to do is cut exactly on that line. So just from corner to corner, just cut it exactly on that line. And then you're going to take your picture and you're going to put your frame on there, or you can measure if you'd rather do it that way. And then you're going to take this and put it here. And you're going to put a little glue on these two tips and glue it down like that. And then you're going to cut these extra pieces that stick out off. And that is when you're going to get this. Here's the finished product. And I've glued this here, but you can hardly tell right there. And I think I'm going to use this frame here, which is kind of cool. And then these frames are a little boring, so I'm going to ink them for sure. And I have a peach one. I cut this one down a little bit to see if I would like it better smaller, and I do. But then I thought, well, what if I were to send it through in this damask folder, or sorry, distressed tile embossing folder. And so I did that, and it came out like this, which I love. It looks like a tin frame to me. So then this is going to go here, and it can overlap on this one even a little bit, just to cover up everything here. And this one here, and it can kind of go outside the frame. By outside the frame, I mean outside of this. And then there's a little bit sticking out here, so I do need something to mat it with. So I had cut one of this size. This I did by hand by just trimming it in the trimmer, and I embossed it, and I really like how this turned out as well. A little piece fell out here because it squeezed it a little too tight, I guess, but I'm just going to put that under this side so you won't even see that. So let's go like that. Ooh, it's hard to get it all. Actually, I kind of want the white showing too, so I think I'm going to put this over top, and I think I'm going to glue that down. Okay, like that, and I'll probably pop this side up so that it stays even. And then this side, I think, oh, maybe it needs some damask too. So I had put this one all the way through with that frame, and then this is the inner part. So I'm wondering if I can make that kind of work over here rather than cutting a whole nother one. So it'd be something like that. But then I feel like I need something on that side as well. Let's see. So I have a few more of this size frame. Let's see if that one works there. Well, that works pretty good. And I feel like this should come up a little more, or that should come down like that. There. And then I also did another piece, and I did stamp the love and laughter from that forever fern on here. Love and laughter forever after. I'll put that under the picture of me and my husband. Like that, and then I might do some strip journaling or something here. I don't need much journaling because this is a day we did a bunch of things, and we just did a quick walk around here. You can kind of see the evening light. The sun was going down. And I want to put a title over here, but I like to kind of frame the title out. So I'm kind of thinking, what about a peach piece in here? But I think it should be damask like this one. And then I have, at that garage sale, I also got these. So I have Here and Now. So I was thinking that could go here. And then I have the word remember, which I thought could go up here. So I think I'm going to cut those out in the Secret Sea. This is actually Harbor, but it's very, very similar to Secret Sea, which I have tons of. So I'm going to use that up before I buy any. I have tons of Harbor. And I think I'm going to shift this a little bit more this way because I want it to And I don't like, because this is a full piece here, so I don't like how covered up it is. So I might shift some things around, like maybe put it over here, which means then I'd have to shift maybe like this. Let's try this. I wanted to show more of my favorite sheet, which is that one with all the colors. And I also thought the peach would show up much better on that lagoon background. So I just shifted these around a little bit. And I'm gonna add here and now as my title, and I'm gonna glue 2 pieces of cardstock together and cut that out so that it has a little more presence on the page. Here, and I kind of want it to be a little bit outside the frame, you know, like it's kind of larger than the frame. So, and I probably should glue this down. Put some weight on it so it goes down. There we go. Now I have the and sign. See the now. Yep, just like that. I'm thinking I'd rather have this little phrase on white, so I'm gonna re-stamp it and then just allow what's there to be the matte behind it. And yep, I do like that quite a bit better. Often on my videos, you'll see me gutting out some paper, and I usually end up using the gutted out part for a frame around the outside, but there was a time when I gutted out some lagoon paper because I needed some certain size for the inside of my layout, and I saved these. And I would recommend that if you have extras of these, if you take paper out of the middle instead of cutting it off the 2 sides, that you put them in an envelope, one of the vinyl envelopes or whatever, together so that you can look through them and find them when you need them. I just think this layout looks so nice with a bit of a frame around the outside because there is so much white space and there is plenty of room for a frame. So I cut off a 1/2 inch on one side, pardon me, a 1/2 inch on the top and a 1/4 inch on each side, and then bumped them in towards the center. And I'm gonna have a trim all the way around the outside of the 12 by 24 layout. I've cut some white journaling strips and I'm gonna add them to this area over here, but I think I need another frame to kind of frame them out and continue with my theme. So I'm gonna bring in another frame here, and I am gonna run it through the embossing folder, I think, as well. Because I glued these pieces down, I am going to have to snip it so that I can just slide it underneath and fake it that it's completely coming from underneath. When you emboss, you want to have the Stampin' Up! Logo towards you. That's going to be the top or the front of the paper. Otherwise, you'll have it embossed inverted, which sometimes you do want it inverted, but most of the time you want it so that the Stampin' Up! Logo is towards you. I like how this little frame turned out, and I'm going to add my journaling strips inside here so it kind of frames them out. I may or may not leave all of these here because I'm going to add some embellishments here as well. And I don't have much to say except for where we were and what time of day it was, that sort of thing. This is a piece of foliage from the Forever Ferns set. It's a kind of circle-shaped leaf. I stamped it in juniper, which is my best dupe for Lost Lagoon. I also cut out a few of the standalone dies that come with that Forever Ferns set. That's this little one here that's got all the little kind of ovals attached together, and then this teeny tiny peach leaf, which is really handy in that set because you get 4 of those, so you can cut 4 of those tiny peach sprigs at once. I'm going to have 3 main embellishment areas that create kind of a triangle, some by each of the parts of the title and then some by the journaling. Sometimes I've glued things down a little too well and it's hard to tuck them underneath, but I can usually pry it up and get them in there. I want to have a little of each color in each embellishment cluster, and I'm going to add a little butterfly to each one as well. I wanted to have my butterflies facing in towards the page. So the butterfly comes facing to the right. So in order to get it to face to the left, I just stamped the 1/2 of the butterfly as you saw there, and I cut it out and used a little bit of the white gel pen to hide the ink that went a little outside the lines. But to me, it really looks like the other butterfly. It just has one antenna instead of two. That will be the butterfly that I put by the picture of my husband and I, and it's going to be facing left. Because these two pieces of green foliage were facing the same direction, they looked too identical. So I cut this one apart, and the butterfly will hide where I cut it, and that makes it look a little different than the other one. I do think the butterflies might need a little color. I did stamp them in Harbor or Secret Sea ink, and I think I'll ink blend a little color onto them, and I'll do that in like an orange. I'm going to use Paprika from Close to My Heart, but the copper clay would work well. I am going to use the very tip of the blending brush and rub on it ever so slightly so that it just kind of radiates out from the body a little bit of orangey blush color. I think I used both Paprika and Papaya just to get the right shade and just to help it fan out from the center. Here's the latest layout in my series from the Beautiful Gallery paper packet. Out of each 6x6 paper, I was able to get 2 3x4 panels and then some extra that I could use to slip in behind my photos to make them look like they were full-sized. So the leftover piece was about the size of this peach paper. So you can see that you can create a whole background just with 6x6 papers, and you don't need 12x12 sheets. I didn't get much of a chance to tell you about the Palace of Fine Arts Rotunda, but that's what this is, and you can always look it up if you're interested in reading more about it. Here's a close-up of all the layers that I have on this layout. I especially love the embossing. I also added some Riverside pearls, and I love how they are kind of tone on tone. Thanks for tuning in once again and watching this layout come together. If you're new here, welcome. I think you're going to love this community. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button for me. If you are looking for more travel layouts, click on the videos that pop up on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time here on YouTube. Bye!